How long do meringues last? Our food chemists team helped us do the process of checking the shelf life of some foods and dishes. Meringue, a cloud SIGH. As we know, meringues are a dense foam whose main ingredients are 2 egg whites and sugar. The egg whites are mounted until it adopts a fluffy texture, or point of snow until it forms peaks. This foam is formed by beating the egg protein, called albumin. Egg whites are 88% water. For instance, sugar likes water, so sugar molecules are surrounded by water molecules when you whisk them together, preventing these gas bubbles from escaping. The use of meringue is quite varied. It can be used to fill cakes or other baking products. It can also be baked, giving it a soft or hard texture. Meringue's shelf life. The first thing we must say is that a raw meringue will not last as long as a baked meringue, for the obvious reason that most of the water has evaporated. The raw meringue will last in the refrigerator for an average of 2 to 3 days. Italian meringue lasts in the refrigerator for up to 5 days, because the egg whites are cooked. And the dry or cooked meringue is kept in perfect condition for 1 year. They can be kept at room temperature for up to 3 weeks, in a container with a lid, and kept away from direct sunlight. How to tell if meringue is bad, rotten, or spoiled? Our senses are the most reliable instruments to help us know if food has gone bad or has been spoiled. Mold can sometimes appear if the food contains enough water. There are certain health risks associated with spoiled foods. With hard-baked meringues, it's seriously very hard to tell if they had been spoiled. After its shelf lifetime, you will have to taste it to make sure it still has the crispiness and sugary flavor. If you notice that its texture has changed, you will see that it's chewy and its taste has become bitter or rancid, then let me tell you the meringues have expired. Storing meringues. Meringues should be stored in a tightly closed container or wrapped with plastic film or Ziploc to keep out air and other contaminants. They can be stored in the refrigerator, left on the counter, or even frozen if desired. If you want them for a long-term option, make sure to let them cool down to room temperature before you get them into the freezer. However, leaving them in a container with a lid, in a dry place, and away from sunlight is still perfect. The ideal room temperature for storing them is 23 degrees Celsius. Here's another tip: if you will like to preserve its taste, you can use an airtight freezer-safe container. These containers were specially designed for freezers. They're made out of tritan material to help you see what's inside. Another thing that works perfectly for storing your meringues is plastic film. What about raw meringue? Fresh meringue cannot be frozen due to the sugar that this sweet contains, because it will melt. What makes conservation better in a dry place? Even so, if you have bought it, this may contain some conservatives, which will give it more margin of conservation. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.